hopefully it'll work for both of us this time. It'd be nice. It'd be wonderful. Work, blast it. Please work. Please. All right. In good news, this class is ahead of the other two classes because you've already seen your test and we've already done the first 3 articles. So first block, when they came to me today, had not done any of the articles and they had not seen their test. Second block had done the first 3 articles, but they hadn't seen tests. You guys have done both. So we do have that much going for us. Okay? Again, sorry for being snappy, but I got so many problems with Zoom today. Not my friend. Yes, sir.
Don't we have the less time out of all the classes?
We do.
Yeah.
All right, so we have done the article about impact of human activities. Who has to write this on notebook paper because they lost their work from yesterday? All right, so you've had extra time. Have you already made up your work on cutting down forest, Erie Canal, and coal mining?
Yes.
So you weren't using your time wisely. Darn. Yeah.
I did.
Where are you going? It's written on the board over there. And you could have been getting this from Lakin. You're just not using your time wisely. Loudmouth, aka me, I'm going to read Mississippi levee system for you, okay? You see this smile? This is teacher without a migraine. All right. Happy bossy teacher. Sorry for you guys, I'm bossy. Like I said yesterday, Ben's going to be home for about a week or so he can get feeling better with his gastro, okay? And Jaden, I guess, got called home this morning, so she's going to be home for a little bit too. Okay? So we'll have 2 less class members for a while. And Jamari's, he dropped from my class today.
He did forever?
I don't know. He's not on my list as of today. I saw it this morning. I was like, yo, why is there 1 less 4th grader? Because, you know, when we first log in, you can see how many students are at the school, and it breaks it down by grade. And I was like, yo, there's only 61 4th graders. So when I went in, I was like, oh, my class says 21. Because, you know, I've got the largest class in the school. I've got 22 kids. So I looked it up, and Jamari's not on anymore. So he's not an ISS. He's gone. He's not at the school now.
Oh.
He's gone.
I saw him today, though.
He got dropped some point. He's not at the school now. I went on, when you guys went to Richmond, he was gone. That's why I was like, what? Yeah, that's what Miss Carter had told me. But that's why I was shocked at, I mean, normally it happens at the end of the day, and I went on it in Richmond, and he's gone. Because, like, my class just shrunk.
We saw him even after Richmond.
Yeah.
I don't know, they took him out of the system. Not the end of the day. Right now is the end of the day.
Yeah. We saw him midday when we were going to.
All right, let's get to Mississippi levee system, okay? Guys, I can tell you there are several lessons throughout this year that my kids always find very interesting. Today's is one of them, okay? And it's because today's lesson, there's part of it, stop playing with the water bottle or it's mine. Got it, Mr. Hall? Okay. There's one article that's very relevant and very interesting that we're going to talk about today. Okay? So let's read about Mississippi levee system. For centuries, the Mississippi River has flooded the Mississippi River Valley for centuries. It's not recent. It's gone on forever.
Centuries is like 100 years, isn't it?
A century is 100 years. It's happened for thousands of years. Bringing valuable, fertile soil that allowed farmers to concentrate on agriculture. These floods also deposited soil in low-lying areas and allowed regions along the Mississippi River to be rebuilt, especially at the Mississippi Delta in Louisiana. Okay, so all of this area, this is the Mississippi River, all of this has been built from the Mississippi River flooding. Okay, all of that is deposited soil from thousands of years of the Mississippi River flooding and depositing soil. That's a big chunk of Louisiana, isn't it?
Almost all.
Well, not all this, but all this down here is from our state getting soil from the Mississippi River flooding. It is very fertile soil. That's how we can grow crops, really good crops. Okay. Right now while I'm reading, you could be writing. It's also on the board, Jason. It's also on Lakin's paper. In 1927, the most destructive flood in history occurred along the Mississippi River. So that's about 100 years ago. The Great Mississippi Flood of 1927 covered 27,000 square miles with 30 feet of water. Now let's think about that. This school is 20 feet tall.
Oh, God.
We're talking 10 feet taller than this school.
That's 30 feet.
This school is 20 feet tall. 27,000 square miles, 3 stories deep. The school is only 2 stories.
I was about to say, we could fit a whole nother story.
You could fit another story. So a 3-story building underwater for 27,000 square miles. That is a huge area. 3 stories deep. That's a lot of water, isn't it? That's a lot of. That was from the Mississippi River flooding. That was about 100 years ago. Yes, Landon. What? I couldn't hear what you said. Well, because that would come in so fast, you wouldn't really have the opportunity, and it wouldn't just be water. It would be taking out a lot of items with it and hitting things with it. So
you'd have to go on like a top story.
well, I mean, you'd be hitting buildings and causing the buildings to crash into things. You'd be hitting trees and causing the trees to hit things. You would have something closer to a tsunami kind of thing. So you're talking deadly. Is that? Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. In response to this flood, the federal government began to build levees that would stop this type of flood from occurring again. Levees built along the Mississippi River protect homes and towns from flooding. These levees have stopped the valuable soil from reaching the places that need to be rebuilt. So we heard the positive, right? It stops the flooding. So what does that do? Does that protect?
Stops damage.
Yeah, it stops flooding, so it protects buildings, and it protects what? Cars too. Buildings and houses and towns, right? But
Yes.
it stops valuable soil from reaching the places that need to be rebuilt. So it doesn't allow fertile soil to get to the land. It chokes out the land, guys. It doesn't allow the soil to keep on being built. Scientists believe that Louisiana is losing a football field of land every hour. Actually, it's worse than that now. Recent estimates are that Louisiana could be losing a football field of soil every 45 minutes or so, which means in the time that you're in my class, 1:45 to 3:20. That is an hour and 45 minutes. We're losing 2 to 3 football fields of land while you're in my class.
Oh my.
That's a lot of land.
Oh my.
That's 900 feet of land
That's
Oh my gosh.
into the Gulf of Mexico.
wow.
That's where it's going.
Get
It's
rid of-
not all from levees. A lot of it has to do with in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, oil companies, stop poking yourself in the face with a pencil. Oil companies went from the Gulf upland. So they went up here trying to get to the oil that was up in our state. And when they were doing it, they were dredging into the land and they're cutting pathways. Well, when hurricanes come along, they cause more erosion and they make those pathways wider. And every time that happens, those pathways get a little bit wider every time. It's more and more erosion. And every one of those things getting wider every day. I'll show you guys, I don't have time to today, but I'll show you on another day, just how much of our land has fallen off of the ocean. Most pictures of Louisiana you look at are not accurate because we're showing you pictures of Louisiana from years ago, not recent pictures. A lot of Louisiana is gone. Yes, yes, that is.
Oh, yeah.
Louisiana does not have that much land now. A lot of that's gone.
Like the whole thing right there is gone. Because like.
New Orleans will be on a narrow strip of land within the next 30 years.
Oh God. Oh.
The one was probably gonna be halfway gone between.
A lot of the land south of New Orleans will be gone in the next 15 years. It will be gone. And it's not just from the Mississippi levee. It's also our hurricanes that keep on eating it up. It's the oil companies having dredged up to get the oil in past years. It's a complex set of problems, and it's not just Louisiana. There's coastal erosion going on all around the country, and in Canada. It's even going on in Europe. It's around the world. Stop playing with the water, or it's mine.
Some oil companies actually.
When
go
somebody wants to pay my ER bill because I go for a migraine, you can play with all the water bottles you want to. But I seriously doubt anybody wants to pay for it. And I seriously doubt anybody wants to watch the needles go in because my husband won't even watch. I don't care. I've had so many of them. They don't bother me one bit. Okay.
Some oil companies actually go into the ocean to get.
Yes, ocean is very rich
On
in
New
oil.
Orleans,
Sorry, after this.
I was gonna go on a cruise ship with my mom. And
Mom,
Yeah.
we need to move to a different state.
Well, a lot of states have coastal erosion,
we
Ben.
had to go 50 feet up to get on,
No, Mom.
out of the cruise.
Well, every year, well, in 15 years, or in 30 years, there'll be a narrow path of.
Okay. Has everybody written their positives for the Mississippi levee system and their negatives?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, stoppy the talking. The levee system, if you look in the picture, that's a wonderful picture because the levee is set back probably at least 500 feet from the river, which is a long ways away. That picture represents significant flooding around the Mississippi, but that levee is stopping that water from getting to that town, isn't it? That's why you see the water, it's up most of the way to the top of the levee. That river would actually not be, if you're looking at this, because that's all water, the river would actually be over here. See where my finger is? The river would be over here. That's significant flooding. All those trees are in the water. That's significant flooding. It's already almost to the top of the levee. The levee is very much doing its job.
And then there's just somebody fishing.
Yeah, and there's somebody fishing because the fish are up there in the water.
not freaking out because the next
The levee's doing its job. And maybe people started sandbagging the homes. But people have a lot of homes along those levees. Okay? And you can see they have a little road that goes right across the levee. So you can get over there to it.
And there's a big hill up there.
That's what the levee is. That is a hill. A levee is a hill.
A big hill.
A big tall one. Okay? That's what a levee is.
Hill.
A big hill made of soil and clay and grass and probably some concrete in there. But it's going to be a lot of silt, which is dry clay because it absorbs water very well.
Oh,
And probably a lot of peat because peat absorbs water very well too, doesn't it?
oh dear mercy. That's a lot of bathtub rains. I see a few bathtub.
That is a lot of bathtub drains. Very observant. Brian, you're getting a dojo for that. Love it. Very good job, Brian.
Hey, Sean, you're on this part.
Persistence on that one, Brian. As a reminder, bring me cans Monday. Remember, it's for every 2 cans, you get a dojo point. And then Miss Leonie comes and brings you Laffy Taffy.
Really? I am not.
Really?
I thought you bring you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Airheads, yeah. Same thing. All right. Quiet. JC, read the first paragraph.
The early 20th century, the U.S.
Euro.
Bureau
Reclamation. Whoever's making all the noise, I need you to quit. Reclamation. Developed.
Develops a plan for a massive dam on the Nevada border to the Tame of Colorado River.
And provide.
And provide water types of
And hydroelectric.
and I'm lost.
And hydroelectric.
Where is that?
Hydroelectric. Look where my finger is on the board. Hydroelectric.
Power for the
Developing.
Southwest construction within the
Strict time frame.
Height
Proved. You skipped a line. Proved.
proved in
Immense.
immense challenge as the crew boarded into dangerous tunnels and
Dangled.
from heights of 800 feet and
To clear.
clear canyon walls.
Okay, stop right there. All right. Do you think it was a dangerous job for these guys to be hanging from
Yes,
ropes
yes.
800 feet above the ground?
Yes.
Do you think probably people fell?
Yes.
They probably went boom.
In the water.
And no, not in the water. On the walls. They might have added a little bit of red to the walls
Yeah, probably.
because that's not exactly a bouncy house at the bottom.
No,
That's rock. Yeah. You know, the orange is down there because of iron, and people have iron in their blood. So they just added, you know, if they fall, it just add a little more iron to the wall, right? You have iron in your blood, that's why it's red.
Actually, it's blue in your body because the
Lack of oxygen. But
it's
once you add
black
oxygen
in
to
your
it.
body.
So, 800 feet, that was dangerous, right?
Yeah, very.
And the men and women, well, men back then, would have been pretty darn brave to do it, right? And probably a couple people probably met their end out there doing it, but it was an important job, right? All right, you want me to finish the last sentence?
Can
You
I finish it?
want to finish it?
I want to.
You want to finish it? I want hands down, 'cause I want people to listen. I want you to stop jiggling in your seats. The largest dam in the world at the time of its completion in 1935. This National Historic Landmark stores enough water in Lake Mead to irrigate 2 million acres. So Brian pointed out, you can see in that picture, bathtub rings. Why? What's going on in Lake Mead? A big drought. There's a drought going on in Lake Mead. What's causing the drought?
Damn.
The dam is causing the drought. And also because they're having less rainfall than normal, yes. But the dam is causing the drought. Okay? Second paragraph is short. When the dam was built, the water behind the dam created a large lake. So we heard the positives. It provides water and hydroelectric power. Okay? Those are big positives, right? And it irrigates 2 million acres. To irrigate means to add water to so that they can farm. That's a big, big, big positive. In other words, they can farm in the desert. That's amazing. What is it, JC?
I need it on paper or something. I can't read Lincoln because it's too tiny. Way too tiny.
The first one's on the board.
I did the first one.
Okay. You need to write this one on your own. You'll have to go back and get the other ones when we're all done with all of them. But right now you need to be writing the positives of Hoover Dam. Look, Hoover Dam is way down here. These are the only two you're missing, are Erie Canal and coal mining. We just did Mississippi Levee System, now we're on Hoover Dam. So it's a big positive that they get water and hydroelectric power. But it's a pretty magical thing that the desert can grow crops, right? And that's what they mean by irrigating 2 million acres. The desert can grow crops. 2 million acres, that is a massive area getting water for their crops. Please stop moving those desks around. I swear I'm wanting to make people sit on the floor. If you can't stop moving those desks around. When the dam was built, the water behind the dam created a large lake. This lake destroyed the habitats of many native animals that lived in the region. Bighorn sheep, coyotes, I can't see through your hand, Amaya. Ground squirrels and the desert tortoise have all come close to extinction because their habitats have been destroyed. Okay, there's your negatives. Write about your negatives. Amaya, I sure hope you're writing because it doesn't look like it. And I don't mean drawing. Because I know the other day in English when you were supposed to be writing and instead you're drawing 100 stick figures. That was not the kind of writing you're supposed to be doing.
Hello?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, Ben.
Well, why did they make the dam if it would destroy the habitat?
Because they wanted to make electricity and they wanted to irrigate many acres of land so that they could farm in the deserts.
And they wanted more money.
Yeah, and that
That's
equaled
dumb.
money. They didn't worry so much about the animals, they worried about money.
Can't you share
Shearing sheep would not equal more money than growing crops.
What happened is no wonder.
Without crops, humans don't survive.
Yeah, they say it goes on for years. But how could they survive without food?
Guys, I'm trying to write this so JC will have something to copy, and I can't do that and answer your questions at the same time, can I? JC. Considering I took the time to write it and spell it correctly, do the same. Okay, let's go on to Imperial Valley. This is the bottom one on the front page. This one, my friends have had trouble pronouncing the words all day, so I will read this one. Okay, sit down, Colby. Can I have my friends not talking? Before the early 1900s, the Imperial Valley, located in Southern California. Just from that, do you remember us mentioning this before?
Yes.
What does the Imperial Valley do? We talked about it, we talked about the West region. What does the Imperial Valley do? What's important about it? Parker. It has a lot of crops. Do you remember how many? Has what? Very fertile. Yeah. What does it grow? Do you remember?
Wheat.
It grows what?
Wheat.
No, not wheat. Anybody remember what we said about it? Riley. No, no. For legend. Yeah, but how many? It had oranges in it. What else? Cody. It wasn't corn that we talked about. Fazier.
Energy.
Nope. This was a place that had 150 fruits and vegetables. It was the area that's located between the Sierra Nevadas and the coastal ranges in California. It's very fertile. But before the early 1900s, it was desert. It could not grow crops. Due to the gold rush in 1849, many people moved to the region looking for gold. To feed the region, George Chaffee, a Canadian engineer, devised a plan to build an irrigation canal to the area. To irrigate means to add water to. This canal was to bring water to the region as well as it was going to be used to generate energy in a hydroelectric power plant. In 1901, there were literally no people living in the town of El Centro, having only 1,500 acres of farmland. By 1905, so 4 years later, an irrigation canal was built near the city, and the population grew to 12,000. And farming land grew to 67,000 acres. So it went from having no one to having 12,000 people. It went from having 1,500 acres of land they could farm to having 67,000 acres. So literally it went from almost a desert to this. Because what did they do?
They grew one, and then they learned they can grow.
They did this, guys. They put this in.
Water.
They put in an irrigation canal.
Oh, the irrigation canal.
That's an irrigation canal right there in the picture.
Oh.
That's what this is. This is water.
So
This is
irrigation
what the
canal is
area
water?
looked like everywhere before they put in the irrigation canal. Even though the irrigation system has brought fertility to the region, it has also impacted the regions around the Imperial Valley irrigation system. Areas downstream have experienced a significant drop in water levels. Look, do you see this back here? It looks all brown. That back there is a what?
No.
Desert. Around it is desert. Over here, it's what? Desert. They're putting all the irrigation on this side. They put, stop talking. They put all the water over here. They know if they spread the water out everywhere, there won't be enough water for the crops. So they put the water all in one area, but it means this area doesn't have enough water, does it? And it leaves it a desert. And this area back here is left a desert. Okay? So by adding water here, areas downstream have experienced a significant drop in water levels. This has left communities with no water and has increased the amount of arid land. What is arid? What does arid mean, guys? Arizona is arid. Louisiana is not. What is arid?
Ingrid?
Desert, dry. Louisiana is not arid, is it? Louisiana is the opposite of arid.
Yeah.
It's not arid. Okay. So write your positives about the irrigation system and write your negatives about it. Okay. Yes, sir. right on the very edge of the water, it's wet, and it's probably because the wind picks up a little bit of the water spray and gets it right there beside it. It's green,
So they
but
didn't.
then it's desert.
So they didn't. They barely cut it off. Just barely.
Yeah, it's a little bit of spray probably from wind.
Yeah. It's. And there's a little thing that I noticed. It kind of looks like a word search, brown and all that green.
So write your positives and your negatives to the Imperial Valley, okay? Blake, I need this completed. For real. Not like yesterday's completed. So, and hurry back. Okay, as soon as JC's done, she can pass you what I wrote. You can copy from those. Let me see what you have done so far, Sir Legend. Yeah, I need to see it up close and personal. No, I need to see it up close and personal. I'm over here and I'm not coming to you. I need more positives and negatives than that. Give me some more positives and negatives. I'll see it when I see what he specifically needs help.
I'm about to give you one.
That's it, lady. Yeah, we're gonna have to go on the back of this page to do the next two articles, okay? And the last article is the one that's most interesting because it's still relevant. Okay,
Oh, we have one, but they're very
kind of long. And I can read yours, thank you.
I'm not like super.
Yeah, but I can read it. I like purple, by the way, yours and your mom's hair. Your mom's reminds me of Miss Fitzgerald's. All right, that's it. Go sit. Go sit. Yes, go sit. Loved it. That's what I had for lunch first. Now, Sir Legend, go. Hurry. If you're gone for 20 minutes, I'm messaging your mom again. Did I make myself clear?
Do I just click on this? Yeah.
Yes, that's what I did on mine. I traced mine. Have you finished copying it when you gave it to Riley? Okay, thank you. We have a paragraph we're going to start today. You're at the very least going to write the topic sentence, and then we're going to continue with the paragraph Monday. We're going to also go over you're taking a test Wednesday to get this out of this unit for social studies. So Monday, we're going to go over all these questions and answers. Yeah, okay. It'll be recorded and put on, stuff like I do all of them. And then we'll go into the new unit Monday, early exploration, which is really going through maps again, early maps. And then Tuesday we'll be in the new unit, and Wednesday we'll actually test out. Okay. So you won't have to be writing paragraphs, which is good. Because it feels like you guys have done paragraphs every day. Believe me, as the one having to grade them all, I would feel the pain more than you. Y'all have it easier because you only have to write one paragraph. I have to grade them all. What? No. Everybody's bladder does not break at the same time. Believe me, I've had bladder surgery. I would know. Yeah, I bet nobody else in here can say that. I've had so many surgeries, it's not even funny. I had one this week.
I can jump off of something 10 feet in the air and not get hurt. It's crazy. I don't know. And yesterday, the screw went through.
Yeah, shoes are great at absorbing things like that. I've had nails and screws go through mine. They're great for that.
Right there. And it was an old rusty one.
All right, are we ready to go to the next one?
Yes.
You okay over there?
Yeah.
All right, grazing ranches in Texas. Don't we wish we had that for dinner?
No.
I used to live
Please stop writing on my smartboard, Ben.
I'm not.
Someone did. I didn't do that.
Me either.
I can't erase that.
Maybe I can.
All right. I will read this one so you guys can. It's.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to erase it.
I know. I'm aware. I'm aware.
I
I know. I'm aware. Stop talking, please. Stop talking in my classroom, please. There's some words in here that are real hard to pronounce. So I'll read the first paragraph and I'll call on somebody for the second one. Keep your hands down, okay? Ranching in Texas dates back to the 1730s. That's older than Mr. Ruffin. Got your attention, didn't it?
Who's that? That is bad. Oh.
Ranching in Texas dates back to the 1730s, where cattle raisers in southeast Texas and southwestern Louisiana drove herds to market in New Orleans. By the 1800s, a new breed of strong, hardy, disease-resistant longhorn cattle roamed the Texas frontier by the millions. Just after the Civil War, longhorn beef sold for about $1.50 per head. So a whole cow for $1.50
They are so.
in Overstock, Texas. But in the growing cities on the east and west coast, the coveted meat went for $30 to $40 a head. In other words, a cow.
Okay, now that's a little better.
Texas ranchers could make huge profits by moving their herds north on the now famous trails that stretch from far south Texas to the Kansas railroad town. So in other words, even if a cattle rancher, they had their cows in Texas, they could sell them in Texas, that would be a really easy thing to do. But they didn't make any profit. They're only worth $1.50. That's not much profit at all.
I wish that would be here today.
Well, not for $1.50, there's no profit there. But if they herded them together and they moved them to Kansas, they'd be worth $30 to $40. Well, that's a fair amount of profit. But when you've got 100 or 200 cows, that's a lot of profit. That's a lot of work, but that's a lot of profit, right? Okay, so write your positives for cattle ranching. Okay, put your hand down, write positives. We've already read a whole other paragraph and you missed it. You've been gone a little while. Write your positives for cattle ranching.
What do you mean by? You said nothing.
You. Saying even older than you. That's my idea of getting your attention. Amaya, write your positive. It goes on the back of your paper for cattle ranching. Yes, Ethan.
Can we put on positive it gives us good meat?
Unfortunately, now it's working a lot of it right now. Don't really know why, but they are.
I know negatives for the next one.
Yeah. Sheep do the same thing. I had a sheep growing up. And they mess.
Yeah, goats. Pig.
Goats don't do it, but sheep, pigs, cows do.
Oh.
Goats are way better.
Hey,
Because
horses
they don't do
make
that.
a mess too. They throw the hay everywhere.
No, I mean this right here.
My aunt, where she lives, it's illegal to have a deer as a pet. Yeah.
What's wrong with having a deer?
And
Deer don't
that
do
was
this.
wild.
Deer
And my
don't do this.
aunt,
All right, second paragraph. Addison, read the second paragraph, please. Grace. Stems. Sometimes fruits. Trample. Haul. Wallow, which means to roll around. Disturbs. Cases. Destroys. Crust. Increases erosion. So cattle destroy the soil. Sheep do the same thing. Pigs do the same thing. Goats don't do that.
Well,
Goats only eat the top of the grass.
Goats eat everything.
No,
Anything that they do.
no, sheep do. My sheep ate the shed.
Oh my god!
She ate the metal shed.
goats eat paper.
Yeah, but goats will not eat metal. Sheep will.
Why? How?
My sheep also ate the greenhouse.
What is the greenhouse?
Fiberglass and glass. She ate it.
How? Why?
She died when she was a year old. The goofball would eat everything. Goats don't do that. Her name was April Melody. Born April 1st. Hardheads will eat everything. Goats don't do that. Sheep will destroy the soil. Pigs will destroy the soil. Cows will destroy the soil. So write your negative. We're talking about cattle here. But the point is, certain animals will destroy the soil because of the way they eat. Goats don't do that. Yeah, goats only take top. When people say goats eat everything, no, they don't. Goats are pickier. You're doing the one about cattle. We haven't got to the bottom one yet.
No, look, you don't get like animals and stuff. Like, you need to get only chicken.
I'm not sure if I'm a human yet. I don't eat anything.
Colby doesn't eat anything. Colby's a bone. He doesn't eat anything.
The only thing I
Yesterday, he's like, I forgot to eat. I want to get the grapes. I'm like, boy.
I eat grapes and other things.
All right, class. We've only got 20 minutes to get through the last article and start the paragraph. That means we need to stop the talking. I'm losing my voice. I don't know if I told you guys the reason my nose runs. I just learned this yesterday. My seizure medicine makes the nose run. Go figure. That's why the allergy medicine wasn't cutting it. I've been on this thing for 3 years and I just learned it yesterday. And that's all she went up on my medicine. Or I'll be a happy nut, 'cause I won't remember anything, but I'll be happy. Okay.
And the guy got bumped.
What I take doesn't make me eat at all. And drink
There's
at all.
medicine that makes you eat.
I have my vitamin
All right, guys, quiet. Okay, turn to that last one with the beautiful picture of the water that I'm sure you guys would just love to consume.
Wait, that's what I question. I actually want to drink some of that.
Wait, please.
There's a lot of
Okay, quiet. Here is Flint, Michigan. Here's Detroit, Michigan. Detroit is the capital of, not the capital, but it's a major city in Michigan. It's a very large city. Here is Flint. Okay, they're very big cities. This is a very relevant article. This happened in 2014. While Shreveport's water doesn't look like that, who here lives in Shreveport? All right. I know when I draw up my bathtub full of water, I have a garden bathtub. It's big, 55 gallons, I think. My water looks green. I try to just imagine that I'm at the beach in a green beach water. I add salt to it. Epsom salts are really good for your muscles that hurt. And I have to take the strongest muscle relaxer out there that's not an anesthetic, like Anaflex. I take that every day. And then they give me Baclofen, which is the second strongest medicine. And I take that one too. So, yeah, they have me on strong muscle relaxer, right? So, Epsom salts are almost as good for your muscles as those strong muscle relaxers. Epsom salts are really good for you. I mentioned that because they sell it at Kroger, they sell it at Walmart. They're really good for you. They're very easy.
I think
That's
it's
a mineral.
really
And they're really cheap. So I add that to my hot bath. It really makes you feel good. Really good. It's better than Tylenol. It's healthy for you.
Wow.
Wasn't that long ago, was it? It was kindergarten, right?
That's before coronavirus was
It's a good old days. All right. We're going to read this, and then I'm going to tell you my little lesson about this. Okay? What you're going to write about, guys, we don't have that long to go. What you're going to write about is this, but I'm going to tell you there's a lot more to this lesson than just what's on the paper, okay? Because I'm educating future adults. My job isn't just to educate you on what's in the paper, but to educate the future of society. Got it? Okay. Pay attention to the article. Everybody with me? The city of Flint grew with the success of the automotive industry. And by the 1950s, it was the site of the largest single manufacturing complex of General Motors. Flint became second only to Detroit in the manufacture of automobiles, auto parts, and supplies in the United States. In other words, everybody here's heard of General Motors, right? They make cars. The largest factory in the entire country for General Motors was in Flint, Michigan. Do you think they had a good economy?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. They had a lot of jobs for people. And it wasn't people with college educations. It was people coming and stop holding paper, pay attention to the grind lesson. It was people coming out of high school. They had good paying jobs with benefits. Benefits as good as mine. My union is the same union that people with General Motors have. I have the same benefits that people with General Motors have. Same company. Okay, and I have incredible benefits. My benefits are worth $50,000 a year. I've had 2 surgeries, 3 surgeries, 4 surgeries this year. I've probably had $300,000 worth of medical benefits this year. Because I'm part of a big union and it's all covered. Ms. Ramirez and her family, they also have major benefits because they're also part of that union. Okay? So, Flint, Michigan was doing well because they had the biggest factory in the country for cars. for General Motors. Got it? So they had a great outlook for money, their economy, jobs, probably low crime too, right? All right. They were second in the country behind Detroit, which was nearby. And I showed you where Detroit is, right? And I also mentioned Detroit because Detroit's the one that has darker reddish water. I also want to drink that. Okay. Detroit was only bigger because they not only made cars, but they also made car parts and supplies. Throughout the years, many of the industries found in Flint, Michigan, disposed of their waste in the Flint River. There's the important part. Lots of places do that. Shreveport companies dispose of their waste in our local bodies of water too. Places all around the world do that. Today, they still do that. Guys, your grandparents probably still flush their medicine, their old medicine down the toilet. That eventually gets into groundwater and eventually can cause that. When you flush things down the toilet that don't belong there, or when you pour things down the gutter in cities like gasoline or oil, goes down the gutter. Let's say you've got 100,000 homes and you've got 500 people that pour down gasoline or pour down oil down those gutters. Well, that eventually makes it to the groundwater, which will eventually make it to the river or to the lake. Guess what? Shreveport dumps their waste into the Red River. Bossier gets its drinking water from the Red River. They filter it, but not everything comes out. All right? Such things as soap, chlorine, lead, pesticides, and other chemicals have all been dumped into the Red River. It wasn't a problem until 2014. The city of Flint, Michigan switched this water supply to the Flint River. So all those years they've been dumping all those chemicals in Flint River. What a problem. But 2014, they said, oh, let's save money, let's start drinking from it. People began to drink the water, see what the water looked like. They got lead poisoning, they got skin rashes, they got other health problems. Now you can't write about the rest of these health problems because it isn't in the text, but I'm telling you those other health problems, cancer and death. That would be why you don't flush old medicine down the toilet. That would be why you don't pour gasoline down the gutters, or you don't pour oil on the ground, because it's not one person pouring oil down on the ground. It's multiple people doing it over time, and it builds up. It goes on the ground here, but it seeps through the ground. It eventually makes it to the groundwater. Because it's going to go down, 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 down. It's going to trickle down, just like that poster I had up. Remember the one from water that went down? And it eventually gets down to what they call groundwater, and it's going to meet up with the rivers that converge, and it will eventually make it out to the Red River. Who did I say drinks from the Red River? Bossier. You think people in Bossier really want to be drinking that?
No. Bossier would be.
The problem with that, the soap, chlorine, lead, pesticides, and other chemicals, they break down and they make new chemicals together. And that's how you end up with that mess. They have been having to, the city and companies that are in the city have been giving them bottled water to wash their clothes, to brush their teeth, to drink, to cook with, for everything for years. Do you think that's expensive? Yes.
For that.
For 6 years, they've been giving them bottled water because they can't drink that mess. This year, they decided, oh, it's too expensive now. You have to start drinking it again. Now, their water doesn't look like that anymore, but they've not said it's particularly safe anymore either. I wouldn't want to drink anything that ever came from that river. But we have something called the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. It's supposed to keep us safe from hazards such as that. But they've been caught taking bribes from companies. So they're not really so trustworthy now. And they've been caught taking bribes all around our country. This is timely because this is still going on around our world. We have scandals like this in India. We have scandals like this in England. We have scandals like this in California, in Washington State, in Louisiana, in Texas. This is all over the world. Flint just happens to be the worst of it. And that one got caught and put very publicly out there. Okay, so write your positives and your negatives. It looks like radioactive water. Okay, so I have one more page to give everybody. Is this one. It says describe 2 ways humans have altered the land in the United States. I cannot give you your topic sentence this time because your topic sentence depends on which 2 topics you're going to write about. Now, all day people have been very intrigued by the Flint water supply because
That's what I'm
it's gross. It's gross. So if you want to write about cutting down trees and Flint, you could say, remember we just restate the prompt. 2 ways humans have altered the land in the United States are the Flint water crisis and cutting down trees, period. There's your topic sentence. If you want to write about cattle grazing and what's one of the other ones? Cattle grazing and Hoover Dam. 2 ways humans have altered the land in the United States are cattle grazing and the Hoover Dam.
Coal mining.
Right, so you're just going to rearrange that prompt and then throw in the 2 things you're going to write about. You got to at least write your topic sentence. Be in a topic sentence, you got to indent this first sentence. You don't need to fill out this side of the page. This is what I'm grading. You got to write your topic sentence today. Okay?
If we don't get this finished, do we have to do it
Monday. Monday. We'll continue this Monday.
Our landlord, like, literally put
Yes. A small amount of leaks is actually fine. Generally, 1 part of leaks. All right, guys, you need to get this done because we've only got 5 minutes and Mr. Williams has not broke in yet. So, get to work.
Couple of announcements. If you have any students that ride bus 26, they will be on bus 160. Any students that ride bus 91 will be on bus 642. Any students that ride bus 237 will be on bus 436. Any students that ride bus 637 will be on bus 254. Bus 26, 160, bus 91, bus 642, bus 237 is going to be on bus 436, and bus 637 will be on bus 254. Thank y'all. Have a great weekend.
God, it sounds like it's running. Did everybody get one?
Yes.
Write your topic.
Guys, at bus 637 will be on bus 254. Bus 637 will be on bus 254, and bus 237 will be on bus 436. 237 will be on bus 436. Thank you.
All right. Dan, you got the whole assignment? Okay. Okay. All right.